Hello, welcome in to another episode of Good Morning Nasdaq. Here live with all three members of the Clover trading team. Myself, Dom, that's Kyle, that's Huddie. He's back from his gallivanting over in the Europeans places of the world. It is the first day of August 2024, year of our Lord 2024. We are just inching our way towards Christmas. Some might say this is New Year's Day for August. But there's a lot of year left. Last night, Jack, Kyle warned you not to trade in August because it's the worst month in the world.
I hate August.
You never know. Well, I'll tell you what, though. This morning in August is quite slow. A lot less to look at. No real gappers. I don't believe we had gappers. Was yesterday Wednesday? We didn't have any gappers yesterday either. Over 80%, I don't think. The biggest one this morning is at 56%. So at least this morning is slow, and I will let anyone who wants to say that. I will allow them to say it because I agree. But what a beautiful morning. What a beautiful day. Huddie's back in town. The squad's back together. You guys have a webinar, all you four leafs, with Huddie and Kyle tomorrow. So looking forward to that. The reason we're late this morning is because it was my fault. I was doing my monthly recap video for all you four-leaf clovers. If you want access to that, where you can see all of our video lessons, all of our trade recaps, all of our psychological tormented videos of our big losses, head on over to clovertrading.io. You'll get that, plus webinar access, the room, alerts, watch list, all that fun stuff. So keep an eye out, all you four-leafs, because that video will be uploaded this morning, and you'll be able to see how I did and how I feel about it. And I'm sure Kyle's will be coming this week as well. And I don't think Huddie's been trading all that much. So you'll be able to ask him any questions you want tomorrow in his webinar about what he saw, what he ate, what weird sea creature he ate raw, all that fun stuff coming to you at a webinar near you. All right. How we doing?
Good.
What are we going to talk about? There's no gappers.
We can talk about anything.
We can talk about the weird sea creatures I ate.
Sea urchin?
Sea urchin was the one that was on the top of my mind.
Really? Wow.
We had that, and there's another one called Bortarga, which is probably one that Dom's never heard of. It's like a fish jerky that they put in pasta.
Fish jerky or turkey?
It's a fish jerky. A fish turkey doesn't exist.
I know, that's what was interesting.
Fish turkey. It's a fish with feathers.
Is it Bottarga?
Yes.
So it's like roe.
It's yeah, it's not for me, but they love it out there.
I'm a big seafood guy. I'll eat almost anything if it's meat or seafood.
All right.
I'm not afraid of it.
That's a first.
I'm not afraid of food unless it's like weird food, like American try this stuff, like flavors. And nope. We got Thomas in here, Flo B, Wayne, AZ Trades, Crypto, Joseph, Money. Welcome in. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Let us know if you have any questions. There's a lot of questions yesterday on Wine Wednesday, so if you're not part of the Clover community and you really want that answered, maybe throw it in this chat and we can possibly get to it. Charts, we'd absolutely love you to bring up some tickers because kind of at a standstill here. We can talk about BBLG, the biggest gapper of the day. Even though there's no big gappers, people will still try to trade something because we are degenerates. But, yeah, get in that chat. Start talking. Also, ask yourself this real personal question. Have I subscribed to the Clover Trading YouTube channel? And be honest. Look yourself in the mirror, in a dark room, light a candle. And if the answer is no, ask yourself why. Why are you here then? Support it. Get us to 5K. We're so close. Make sure you hit that thumbs up as well. You guys are absolutely killing it this morning. Already 26 and I haven't even asked. You guys do know the higher you get it in the morning, the less chance I will even say anything. Because we have goals around here. I will not get greedy. I'm not going to be like, oh, you guys already got 70 and I haven't said anything and I won't ask for more. I swear. If you just show up, hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed. We post videos every single week. That's all we asked. We got some Miami, Amsterdam, from the UK. Interesting. All cool time zones. Miami would be the best, I think. All right. Do you guys just want to run through BBLG real quick?
Yeah, I was about to say, as we're talking, it's kind of becoming a pretty solidly
A multi-generational species.
Yeah, multicultural gapper here.
Bone Biologics. I believe we shorted or talked about this one. What did we do? We were on Wine Wednesday, or was it
Last
Friday,
Tuesday,
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
right?
Last Wednesday.
Or
We
no,
were
last
live, I
Wednesday,
think.
Yeah.
Wow, how time flies. That looks like a lot more days than a week ago. But actually an interesting chart. So let's remind ourselves on Bone Biologics. 1.07 million float, so still small. Do you guys have news from yesterday or this morning? Or just a bounce yesterday that kind of caught more steam than it should have?
I don't see any news today.
I don't even see news from last Wednesday.
Yeah, maybe it's like rumors. I've always noticed if I've ever missed news, it's either a pump or there is like rumors on like social media that I have not seen or heard of or whatever.
Okay. Overall risk is high. Offering ability is low. They've got 3.4 months of cash left. Let's see if I remember where. Tiny warrants. Gotta have been a reverse split, I feel like.
Previous gaps run high was 425, so we'll see if that gives it some trouble.
Well, let's get to the daily chart. If you want to get to the daily chart, say, hey, go to the daily chart.
Oh, sorry. Right. I got excited.
We're at the daily chart. Talk to me, Kyle. Remind us of last week. Talk to us about the last few days, and then where are we at now?
It had a pretty big spike out the open from 215 to 425, almost like, actually, yeah, almost perfectly a casual double in what looked like 4 minutes of trading.
Like 3 halts, I think, 2 halts.
Yeah, and died immediately. So, and also that day had a ton of volume. I mean, literally, there's 2 or 3 candles over 800K. And it was all at the top there. So I would envision this probably has some difficulty getting up there. And if it does get over there, then I guess it's technically a pretty solid breakout. But we'll have to see.
Yeah, it'd be at about 100% up on the day at that breakout level, which isn't crazy or insane. That was also the morning. I believe we had like 4 or 5 gappers up 70% or more. We had DRMA. Was that day one for news as well? There was quite a few. That was probably the last really volatile gapper day we had. And yeah, pretty, we talk about structure a lot, talk about resistance and support. Like, what are the technicals? Like here on Good Morning Nasdaq, we go through the dilution, we go through the filings, the fundamentals, the news, all the offering ability and stuff. But what really matters to me is what's going on the daily chart. And here you have a stock that has been beaten down for a while. Much higher. They did reverse split 7 months ago, 1 for 8. So that's why these numbers look inflated. But the stock really has had a very difficulty to go up for any period of time, which is not uncommon in the small cap space. It's actually, they are very average and normal for that qualification. But the most important thing is that resistance from last week. It's fresh. Everyone remembers it. This is a ticker where, oh, it's back, or, oh, let's short it. Like, people have a thought when they think of BBLG because it's fresh on their mind. It was very recently it ran, which is why I think the supply is probably more important. When you see resistance from 2 years ago, it may affect prices, the price action at that level. But there might not be as much supply left because there have been plenty of time for people to work themselves out and bag holders to get away from it. But in this case, anyone who did buy one of the halts, 3 to 4 or 3 to 350 to 4, and got bagged, they're kind of given right now a pretty golden opportunity in one trading week to let go of that bag, release it into the ether, and say, I'm purged from this horrible situation. And I think you're going to find that 350 plus. When I look at that day, back here, most of the volume did trade in the first, what time? I can't see times. Oh, yeah, in the first 30 minutes. By the time that top got put in, that's like where all the volume is. So if there are bags, I do think 350 to 4 is the level. So that clearly is the resistance that means the most. We're up 62% right now, so it's not like the craziest move of all time. We're spiking from far away from that breakout level, but I do anticipate the 80, 120% into a big resistance level there to be significant supply. So this is one out of the gate where you kind of have 2 approaches. Long bias is, does it hold around that 420, do massive volume? Right now, we're already going to do more, it looks like, on the day than that day. And do we break out when we go 5, 6, 7? Tiny float, 1.07 million. Or my short bias trader who says this is like ADIL or whatever from a week or two ago, where this is a short into resistance. It's going to stop and hold around 430. It might go through it for a little bit. But if we spike there, wick up and hold, and we probably fade because this one proved on the day one gapper that it could fade from 420 to 2. Those are the two schools of thought. You have the freedom to choose whichever one you want. I kind of go into this morning with more of a let's see what happens in the first 30 minutes and then make an adjustment. If it's doing 150 mil at 11 a.m., that's pretty impressive. So patience approach, but there is structure here. This is a multi-day setup mixed in with a gapper. So we'll see where it opens. We still got 23 minutes till 9:30. So this is going to be the top one, I think. I don't think anything else has popped up. This is going to be what people are looking at, what they're watching, what they're talking about. Any thoughts, Huddie?
His laptop, I think, died.
Oh,
Yeah.
Geez, you guys have 15 messages with each other?
Before we started the stream, everyone, he admits he had forgot his laptop charger in Europe. So he was like, I have limited life on this laptop, and then ergo he's gone. So
Yeah, that happened with laptop. I think it's the only reason he likes me is he left his at one of our boot camps in Boston, then was like going to like Austria or something like the following couple days.
Yeah.
And so I had to ship it to him like to get to his house by the time he got there from Boston. And I went to the store. I was with Roland. I was like, we got to go to FedEx. And I shipped it to him, and I think he's just
Wow.
forever grateful.
Yeah, nice guy.
He's a great guy. So he's the type of guy who's if he's asking that from you, you got to reciprocate it, you know.
That's valid. Yeah, laptop's a great
I
guy.
do it for you too. Probably
appreciate
not
that.
like Huddie. I'm kidding. I do it for anyone. That's nice to me. All right. BBLG is your Lone Star riser of the day. Thomas rocking in from Grand Rapids. Joseph asked a question for Huddie, but Huddie is not here. You can always ask him over in the room or in the webinar tomorrow. He says, how do you like EU market open time? Isn't it like 1 p.m. or something?
Depends on what country you're in, but most I think it's 3:30.
Yeah. Better
Yeah,
than
which is
Hawaii,
nice.
worse than America. I guess Hawaii's America. But red candle says serve and LUMN, possible number 6s. That's pretty much what a bounce short.
I don't know. I wouldn't call Lumen a.
Let's start
I
with
guess
serve because I already typed it in. Serve, serve is in this place, this realm, in this world where it is either going to break out over 24 and be amazing, or it's going to be that. Maybe bounces a little higher, 18, 19, volume drifts off, and we fade back to 10, 11, 12. Hard to say right now, but like I said, pick a direction and have that bias until we have more information. If this candle plus this candle is very similar to this candle plus this candle from last week. So the more we do that, any big green candle out of consolidation to 18, like if we hold for a day or two, I lean more that this is strong. The stock has done more than 40 mil pretty much every day, except for that one consolidation day. So if today's a low volume day that holds up, I start to lean more.
The one thing I'm looking at is that the last few days, it's never actually broken the previous day's low. The only day it actually has done that is on the day they did an offering, and it quickly, and it quickly recovered. So yeah, this is either right. I think a bounce short, or this is going to set a huge lower high, sub 20 probably, or it's going to break out. As for Lumen, though, I don't think Lumen's a bounce short because it's literally right at the highs. Like bounce shorts usually don't double top, which this practically will do.
I also don't think it's overextended.
Yeah, it's not as much as we think.
But percentage-wise and like dollar-wise, it's like it looks like that because this like moves in like a 4-cent range every day.
Right.
I have that on watch as a breakout.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me if this went to like 370 today, somewhere in
It's
somewhere
a slow
in the 10.
mover. It's a grinder. We were short yesterday. Thankfully, we got some covers off in the 230s.
We made some money, which is great for a day that didn't actually technically close red.
But it came right back, and now it just looks strong. And the last 2 volume days are what piqued my interest. This is more of a risk reward play because of the range. Like if I'm buying something like Serve that goes from 2 to 15 or whatever the breakout level was, then I'm like, okay, smaller size, make $5 to $10. This one, like if I have to risk 15 cents, it's probably not worth it because I might only get 30 or 40 cents out of it. That's kind of my perspective. Don't love this one. Would we say the float was here?
It was $1 billion. Huge.
Yeah, they don't even have dilution information. Like this is different. This kind of reminds me of your SHOT trade back in.
Yeah. Well, that's what's impressive though. I think that's why yesterday I was okay shorting it because right, not that extension percent wise, but the fact that a billion share float is moving like this is pretty cool to see. So higher the better. I hope this thing goes to 4 or 5. You know, who knows how high this goes, but
6 maybe.
Yeah, 17. Like wherever.
GJRH says buy multiple chargers. ... Those are fighting words.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. I don't have multiple chargers. I'd never have owned multiple chargers for a laptop.
Neither have I.
I feel like they come. I mean, phones are the only ones where I still wish I had multiple, but I usually only have one. And then you lose it, and then you get a brand new one. It's just like an everlasting circle.
Yeah.
Park. Oh wait, no, go. Talk to me.
I was like, technically, he's gonna have multiple chargers because he's lost one. He's buying a second one.
He'll have had multiple. He'll have owned multiple.
Yeah, he'll have had multiple. That's for sure. I have had multiple. The one I currently is plugged in is not the original laptop charger.
Really?
I lost mine as well. Yeah.
Does anyone have the original charger their phone came with? I'll bet you that percentage is below 50.
Probably.
Like that either breaks or you lose it, and then you're at the gas station one day, you're like, I need a charger.
Yeah.
Q&A or question for Kyle. You're going to be the A part of the Q&A. When interest rates get lowered, will that bring more liquidity to small caps, or does it not affect what we trade so much?
We briefly talked about this yesterday on Wine Wednesday. So I don't. That's a little bit further than my scope of understanding. I don't know. I would think it naturally. I mean, just from the sheer fact of how interest rates work, it would bring liquidity almost to arguably anything and everything. Just because money is technically cheaper to borrow, and there's always going to be someone to borrow. But again, I can't prove that necessarily for small caps. The one area for interest rates that I do think affects small caps, which I said the last time on Wednesday, is that it does make it harder for companies to borrow, right? If, in 2020, 2021, companies could borrow for practically free or very low. Whereas now, if you're borrowing, I don't even know what the interest rates they give you, but it's definitely going to be in the 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 plus percentage borrow rate, which companies, especially failing companies like the small caps we trade, can't really afford to do that because they know they can't really pay it back. Ergo, they go to dilution. So there's always a bunch of offerings in small cap. There's always a bunch of dilution in small cap. I just think, and I can't prove this, I don't have stats, but I would love if someone knew how to do it, just did the back testing and could compare like low interest rate versus high interest rate environments when it comes to the frequency of offerings or the magnitude of dilution. I think it would be higher. I've always seen plenty of offerings, but I just feel like the last year or so, we've seen a ton of dilution, a ton of offerings, and it makes sense if that's the case. Like that thesis would play out in my head. If that's not the case, if you back test that study and find out that there's actually no difference, I would be pretty shocked. But that's just what I'm seeing for my own brain without any hard numbers. So
yeah, that's above my pay grade. I don't care. That question would never come across my brain because I'm going to show up today and I'm going to look for daily chart breakouts and for screen days and for strike days. And I'm going to do it again tomorrow. And then if interest rates go to 2 million or negative 75 million, I'm going to do the same thing the next day. So
my day doesn't change.
I think we get bored and we start thinking about all this. Like, I got to get prepared for the next thing, the election, the weed cycle, the Bitcoins. They're mining them in my town now. I'm going to show up and I'm going to trade if stock breaks out.
I'm taking over my village.
These miners are everywhere. Someone said, can you bring up the ticker WBX? I can. You're not going to love our responses. This is how we know we're small cap traders, and we all trade differently. Kyle and I trade very different. Huddie and I trade very different. Jack and all of us trade very different. But we'd have the same answer to this. And ain't no small cap daily chart. You want to know why? Volume, same volume, pretty much every day, increased day. Even those days, what is this range? 164 to 184. Good luck with your 1 to 20 if you can risk a penny. And you dead bottom and dead top it. There's nothing going on here. I'm sure you'll probably say something about news or a catalyst or what they do. I think they were EV or something when I just went on Dilution Tracker. But again, that kind of fits in what I was saying. I don't care. If there's no pattern, if there's no play, I want stocks that do nothing for a year, pop up with a million float and squeeze shorts. That's what I'm interested in. I want a stock like SERV that releases great news. NVIDIA is staking them. They're going to partner with Uber, whatever, and they do $2 billion volume after doing nothing for the past 4 months. That's what interests us. We're small cap traders. We're momentum traders. And that daily chart, WBX, just does not fit any of the qualifications for being anywhere close to my radar.
I would agree with all that.
If you get an agree from Kyle, you done did good. All right, great job today, guys. 53 likes, really appreciate it. On kind of shorter show, but there's not a lot going on. BBLG, kind of your one shining star, up 68%. Gosh, that thing won't stop. 9:17, got 13 minutes to go. Looks like it's gonna be a slow Thursday. You know what Thursday means? I'll be golfing later.
Yeah, for your golf weekend.
Yeah, well, I got a 3-day tournament, so I got to get a warm up round in.
You get a warm up.
It's kind of like precedent. You got to golf on Thursdays. But alrighty, we'll see all you Clovers over in the room. Appreciate you guys being here. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button, and also hit the subscribe button. That really helps us too, because it makes us feel like we're cool if we get to 5K. That's what all we really want in life.
We're cool.
So appreciate you guys being here. If you want to sign up for Clover and join us and hang out with us all day and night long over in the room, head on over to clovertrading.io. There's a place for you in our community with some amazing traders, some amazing students, and everyone just trying to get better. I hope you guys have a great start to your August. I hope you guys did your monthly recaps last night or this morning. You go through your stats. You go through, use Kyle's spreadsheet over on clovertrading.io. It's been a game changer for me. And you realize, I realize I'm a really good short seller. Last month,
you are
over 50% win percentage.
Wow.
Average winner was like 3 to 1. But yeah, get that data in there. Prepare yourself. If you're just going through the motions and just showing up every day, every month, expecting to get better, popping in for a webinar here or a video lesson there, it's just not going to work. You got to be top 10%, top 5%, top 3% to really succeed in this game. You got to find your edges and you got to execute. And that means putting in the work. And so I really encourage you guys, when we change the months like this, to really put in a lot of extra work and see where your tendencies are, see where your mistakes are, and make adjustments for the future. You got to change things up. You got to be malleable. And that's how you get better. We will see you tomorrow morning, 8:45 a.m., probably with Huddie. We thank Kyle for his service this week. We really want him to be able to sleep another 30 minutes. And so hopefully that is the case. We'll see you guys all tomorrow. And we will see all you Clovers over in the room right now. Have a wonderful start to your August.